Hi students, it is a formality to introduce myself. I am Professor T.V. Marigoda, belonging to the Nehru Arts, Science and Commerce Degree College, Hubli. And my subject is mathematics. I am engaging the now class BSc 5th semester. Here I take the unit Laplace transform, continuation of the Laplace transform. In this class, I solve the examples on convolution theorem. In the last class, we did the statement and proof of the convolution theorem. It is my lecture number almost all 13 of Laplace transform. The example of Laplace transform, first will start by means of verify convolution theorem. Take the first example, and before that it must recall what is the Laplace convolution theorem. So recall the convolution theorem. L of f of t star g of t, the L of f of t star g of t is equal to L of f of t into L of g of t. L of f of t into L of g of t. It is the convolution theorem. We already did the proof of the theorem also in the previous class. With the help of this convolution theorem, to take the example now, the first example I will go now. Verify convolution theorem. The question is verify convolution theorem. Given f of t is equal to 1 and g of t is equal to sin t. The f of t and g of t is given. We have to be verify the convolution theorem. L of f of t star g of t is equal to L of t into L of g of t. To find out the LHS and RHS part answers of convolution, both should be same. Go for the solution. Given f of t is a 1, from this L of f of t is L of 1. The L of 1 result, we know that 1 divided by s. L of f of t is a 1 by s. Again, the g of t is equal to, it is given that sin t. If g of t is a sin t, then L of g of t is L of sin t is equal to 1 divided by s square plus 1. So L of t is, L of f of t is 1 by s. L of g of t is 1 by s square, 1 by s square plus 1. Now, the L of f of t into L of g of t is obvious that 1 divided by s into 1 divided by s square plus 1 is equal to 1 divided by s into bracket s square plus 1. Call this expression as a 1. So it is almost all the RHS part of the convolution theorem. Now our work is to find out the L of f of t star g of t. For that, first we can take the f of t star g of t. For that we can take f of t star g of t. By definition, you may write integration from 0 to t, changing t in f of t minus u, and g of t is written as g of u, the whole thing with respect to u as a du. So it is f of t star g of t is equal to integration from 0 to t, f of t minus u into g of u du. So this is equal to integration from 0 to t, f of t minus u. What is f of t? F of t is a 1 constant. T changes to t minus u, there is no changes in 1 because constant. F of t is 1, therefore f of t minus u is also 1. And g of t is a sin t, therefore g of u is a sin u. The whole thing with respect to u is a du. So now it is 1 into sin u is a sin u. The integration of sin u is a minus cos u. The integration is over. Put the limit of integration 0 and t. Put the upper limit u as t, it is cos t, minus into bracket cos t, minus cos 0 is a 1. So this is minus of cos t minus 1, or minus is multiple to the bracket, we get a 1 minus cos t. Minus cos t plus 1 is a 1 minus cos t. It is f of t star g of t. Now L of f of t star g of t is equal to L of 1 minus cos t. L of 1 minus cos t, splitting L to the 1 and cos t, L of 1 minus L of cos t. The L of 1 is obvious that 1 divided by S, and L of cos t is a L of cos t is a S divided by S square plus 1. Taken the LCM, it is 1 divided by S into S square plus 1, as a LCM is S into S square plus 1, where it is cos is S is missing. Okay, now it is 1 by S minus S by S square plus 1. Taking LCM, S square plus 1 minus S square, S square cancel. We have 1 upon S divided by S square plus 1. Call this expression as 2. The 1 is 1 divided by S into S square plus 1, as well as 2 is 1 divided by S into brackets S square plus 1, where the LHS and RHS of convolution theorem are same result. So what is our conclusion? From 1 and 2, I will go for the conclusion. From 1 and 2, again I will write this convolution statement. L of f of t star g of t is equal to L of f of t into L of g of t. Both have the same answer, 1 divided by S into S square plus 1. So this is the verification of the convolution by means of the one example, taking f of t equal to 1 and g of t is equal to, no doubt, sin t. Okay friends, after the first example, to move towards the second example of a convolution theorem. So again the question remains same, verify convolution theorem. Second example, verify convolution theorem. Here I take f of t equal to e raised to t and g of t equal to cos t. Verify convolution theorem given that f of t equal to e raised to t and g of t equal to cos t. Go for the solution. As f of t equal to e raised to t, L is applied to this one. This implies L of f of t equal to L of e raised to t. With the help of e raised to kt, L of e raised to kt is a 1 divided by s minus k, where k is 1. Therefore, it is 1 divided by s minus k as s minus 1. It is L of e raised to t, or L of f of t. Next, g of t is a cos t. Then L of g of t. L of g of t is equal to L of cos t. This L of cos t is equal to s divided by s square plus 1. Now the multiplication, L of f of t into L of g of t is equal to 1 divided by s minus 1 into s divided by s square plus 1, totally s divided by s minus 1 into s square plus 1. Call this expression as a 1. Next, go for the left hand side of the result to take the f of t star g of t. F of t star g of t using that convolution definition. To go for this one, f of t star g of t, it is equal to integration from 0 to t f of t minus u, f of t star g of t is equal to integration from 0 to t f of t minus u into g of u du. So this is equal to integration from 0 to t f of t minus u is e raised to t minus u. into g of u is a cos u. Keep g of u is a cos u into du. So this is integration from 0 to t. The e raised to t minus u written as e raised to t into e raised to minus u. Into there is already cos u. Whole thing with respect to u as a du. This e raised to t is independent from u, therefore it is treated as a constant. E raised to t is treated as a constant. Put e raised to t outside the integral sign. The integration is applying only for u terms. Integration from 0 to t e raised to minus u into cos u du. So here we have to use the reduction formula or integration by parts for e raised to minus u into cos u. For this it is necessary to recall the result. What happens? Integration of e raised to x into cos x dx. If it is e raised to x into cos x dx, by reduction it is e raised to x by 2 into cos x minus e raised to x by 2 into sin x. Where it is instead of e raised to x there is a e raised to minus u, cos x plus is a cos u, x is a minus u is there. Therefore it is e raised to t into bracket I will write e raised to minus u by minus 2, e raised to minus u by minus 2 into cos u. There is a minus, therefore it becomes a plus, e raised to minus u into sin u divided by 2. After the integration to put the limits 0 and t. Integration after the integration to put the upper and lower limit 0 and t. Keep the outside integral e raised to term e raised to t as it is, and to take the 2 also outside the bracket, it is e raised to t by 2, remaining e raised to minus u into cos u. The separate limit has to be taken 0 to t plus e raised to minus u into sin u. The separate limit I will again take the 0 and t. Now in place of u to put the upper limit and the lower limit, e raised to t by 2 into bracket e raised to minus t into cos t, because u is a t, e raised to minus t into cos t, and minus the lower limit 0 has been applied, e raised to 0 is 1 and the cos 0 is a 1, therefore it is 1, plus this is over 0 to t of e raised to minus u into cos u. Again t is written as a u is written as a t, e raised to minus t into sin t, and then u is 0 means e raised to 0 is 1, but sin 0 is 0, 1 into 0 is 0, totally it is 0. So it is e raised to t divided by 2 into bracket minus e raised to minus t into cos t plus e raised to minus t into sin t. Now to go for the little simplification here, multiple this e raised to t to the bracket. In the bracket there is e raised to minus t is there. Whenever e raised to t and e raised to minus t is multiplied, we get a e raised to 0, that is to be 1. The remaining term will be left there. Okay, let us multiply these. I will put the 1 by 2 outside the integral outside the bracket. 1 by 2 into bracket. E raised to t is multiplied here. E raised to t into e raised to minus t is 1. Only I left a minus cos t. Now there is a 1 into e raised to t plus e raised to t. Again there is e raised to t into e raised to minus t is 1. We left a plus sin t. Plus sin t. Plus sin t. Now the L of f of t star g of t. Sir, now the simplification, the 1 upon L of f of t star g of t. The L is applied to the right side also. Keep the 1 by 2 constant as it is. Now the first it is L of minus cos t, or we can say minus of L of cos t plus L of e raised to t plus L of sin t. Now 1 by 2 as it is. In the bracket minus L of cos t, keep minus as it is. Cos t, L of cos t is a s by s square plus 1 L of e raised to t 1 by s minus 1 plus L of sin t 1 by s square plus 1. Taking the LCM of these three terms, LCM is s minus 1 into no doubt s square plus 1. Wherever it is not the s minus 1, multiple and simplify, that is minus and s into s minus 1 is a minus s square plus 1. There is no term of s square plus 1 is here, therefore multiple. There is no term of s minus 1 is here, therefore multiple s minus 1 in the numerator. Cancel the s square and minus s square as well as minus 1 and plus 1. So here it is 2s in the numerator, already denominator is 2 and s minus 1 and s square plus 1. 2 and 2 cancelled. We have a s divided by s minus 1 into s square plus 1. So call this expression why not to be as a 2. So this is the left side of the convolution theorem. Already the right side of the convolution theorem is the same result. We return that as to be 1. So the convolution result you may get very easily because both the RHS and LHS are same. From 1 and 2, L of f of t, L of f of t star g of t, yes, is equal to L of f of t into L of g of t. It is
Similarly,
1 divided by s minus 1 into s square plus 1 s divided by. Okay, this is the verification. Students, you can try these examples and solve yourself, verify convolution theorem. Given that the first example f of t is equal to t and g of t equal to e raised to 2t. Second example f of t equal to sin t, g of t equal to cos t. And the third example f of t is equal to t and g of t is equal to cos t. In the next class, we will continue some more example on the convolution theorem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Continuing in the next class. Thank you.